A very good morning to my dear students and welcome to our social science class again. We have started the new chapter and we have come across a very small topic of the chapter last class. Today, although we are having recorded class, so I won't be able to do a face-to-face interaction, but still I'm going to ask you that whether you have understood the concept of settlement or not, right? So I hope you will have understood the concept of settlement, with why a place is called why a place is called as a settlement and what are sites. Okay, so today we are going to start with some new topics. So before, I won't name the topic first, but let us recognize. Okay, so you can see these two pictures. So after this video, while playing this video, just imagine and just think in your mind that what are the differences in these pictures. So the first picture is very organized, neat and clean, and having a proper house with four walls. Okay, but in the second picture what we see are the tents, right? So we can also tell the first one as the permanent settlement and the second one as the temporary settlement. So let us know the differences between and the concept of these two settlement. So see, it's not always that the settlement has to be permanent, it can be temporary also, right? So let us know what is permanent and what is temporary settlement. So more and more settlements today are permanent settlements. In this settlement, people build homes to live in. Likewise, we have our own homes, so we are living in our own homes. I have my own house, you have your own house. So these type of settlements are known as permanent settlement. Next we have temporary settlement. So the settlements which are occupied for a short period of time. Like you have heard about the category of people who are known as refugees. Okay, so for example, in this month, 6 months, they are staying in one place. After 6 months, they will be going to another place. So the place is occupied for a short period of time, hence it is known as temporary settlement. Okay, so the people living in deep forest, hot and cold desert and mountain dwells in temporary settlements. So the people who are living in deep forest, people who are living in hot and cold areas or deserts and mountain, they often keep on moving from one place to another, and hence they don't have a permanent home to live in. They change their places after every 3, 4 or 6 months. Okay, so these are known as temporary settlement according to their own convenience. So in temporary settlement, people also practice hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation and transhumance. So we will be knowing about this concept transhumance in our coming slides. So this is the concept of transhumance. So you can see here that there are lots of animals and a person. So we can just see a combination, right? It's a seasonal movement of people. People, animals move in search of new pastures according to the changes in the season. Sorry, it's not bro, it's changes. Okay, it's two, according to changes in season. So it means that the concept of transhumance, when people move from one place to another because to feed their cattles. See, for 6 months a particular place has got the cultivation, has got trees and plants to feed the animals or kettles, but after 6 months that place is no more suitable or has availability of resources to feed the animals. So the person or the entire category of animals along with the human being, they move from one place to another, and these are known as transhumans. And basically they move because to search for the new pastures according to the change of season. Okay, so this is the next concept of you can see this, the picture often reminds us of our nani ka ghar, okay, or maybe dadi ka ghar when we used to visit right, in our holidays. So we, when we used to visit there, we often see that the houses are not like Guwahati or any other place. They are very scattered, they are not so congested, and they are made of thick muds, mud, or mud walls are there. Houses are very different, and they're having thatched roofs. Okay, means this kher ka ghar. Okay, so people are engaged in agriculture, fishing, forestry, craft work, and trading in rural settlement. It can be compact or scattered. People build houses to suit the environment. So there are different ways of building the houses according to the environment they are living in. So for hilly area, for see, rural settlement can be seen in hilly areas also, as well as plain areas. So people who are living in hilly areas, they build houses differently, like unlike the plain areas, rural settlement. So in regions of heavy rainfall, they have slanting roofs so that the water can like the water can slide off and they can accumulate over the place. So houses are constructed in a raised platform. So I've not given the picture here. So what happened, from the land, there are certain distance, like you can see our homes are attached to the soil, but the houses of some areas, I mean to say the heavy rainfall areas, their houses are actually raised. There are boundaries, and like over that the houses are built. There are platforms, okay, like we have stage, so there are platform builds of, and above that the houses are being constructed. So in hot areas, thick mud walled houses with thatched roofs are very commonly kher ka ghar. I have given in a picture. So stones, mud, clay, straw, etc. are used to construct houses in rural settlement. Okay, so next we have this picture, you can see here. So rural settlement can be scattered, picture 1, and second, it can be congested. So let us talk about urban settlement now. See, urban, we are living in urban area, and we are much more familiar with the areas and the houses that are built in urban settlement. So the towns are small and the cities are larger. Urban settlement, people are engaged in manufacturing, trading, and services. Now in Guwahati, we don't do agriculture or something like that. If someone is doing at their home, it's different thing, but we don't do a proper agriculture because there is no place for agriculture. People out here have got compact houses, they have got buildings, the place is very congested, there is no place, or there is no scattered areas, right? There are houses which are built adjacent to one another. So these are differences of urban and rural settlement. So today we learned some new words, that is unhygienic, not clean or sanitary, congested, so crowded with traffic or people as to hinder to or prevent freedom of movement. Dwellings, a house, flat or other place of residence, and extensive means covering or affecting a large area. So these are the words that you are going to learn, because these are very new to you, and it is very important to learn new words every day, right? So students, in our next class I'm going to discuss these things again, but for today your question is, try to find out the differences between the urban settlement and the rural settlement, and I'm going to ask this question in the next live class, and if you cannot answer, your marks will be deducted. There are some marks which will be given to you in the classroom basis, and if you answer, you'll get the full credit and full marks. Okay, so thank you students, have a nice day and God bless you, and your homework will be uploaded in your Google Classroom.